She told her sister, "I'm only marrying him because I'm pregnant, but it's not even his baby." While I was getting coffee, her sister looked horrified and mouthed, "He's right behind you." I set down the cups and said, "DNA test time." 48 hours later, the real father was served child support papers, and she was begging me to take her back. I, 29 male, never thought I'd be writing one of these. Always lurked, never posted. But here we are. 3 days ago, I was planning my wedding. Today, I'm sitting in an empty apartment with boxes everywhere and a beer that's getting warm because I keep forgetting to drink it while typing this out. Let me back up. Sarah and I had been together for 4 years. Met at a friend's birthday party. Nothing special, just two people who clicked over terrible karaoke and overpriced drinks. She was finishing her master's in marketing. I was grinding away at my desk job. We moved in together after a year. Got engaged 6 months ago when she told me she was pregnant. I was thrilled. Scared shitless, but thrilled. We weren't trying, but we talked about kids. I immediately started planning converting the spare room to a nursery, researching daycares, the whole 9 yards. Sarah seemed less enthusiastic, but I figured it was morning sickness and nerves. The wedding was supposed to be small, just family and close friends at her parents' place in 2 weeks. We were at the coffee shop 3 blocks from our apartment on Saturday morning, going over last-minute details with her sister Emma. I'd volunteered to grab our orders while they talked centerpieces or whatever. The line was long. Some influencer was doing a photo shoot near the pickup counter, holding everyone up. I was maybe 10 feet away from their table, partially hidden by a bookshelf display. Close enough to hear everything. "I still can't believe you're going through with this," Emma said. Sarah laughed. Not her real laugh, this bitter sound I'd never heard before. "What choice do I have? Mark's stable, he's got good insurance, he'll be a decent enough father. But you don't love him. Love doesn't pay for diapers, Em." My stomach dropped, but the next part, that's when everything went black around the edges. "Besides," Sarah continued, voice dropping, "Ryan doesn't even know, and he made it very clear he's not interested in playing daddy. Told me to handle it when I told him. At least Mark thinks it's his." Emma's voice went sharp. "Sarah, that's smart? Practical? Yeah, I know. Look, I'm only marrying him because I'm pregnant, but it's not even his baby. Once I'm back on my feet after mat leave, I'll figure something out. Maybe Ryan will grow up by then." I stood there holding 3 cups of coffee, my hands shaking so hard the barista asked if I was okay. That's when Emma looked up and saw me. Her face went white. She mouthed, "He's right behind you." But Sarah was still talking, something about how I'd never suspect because the timing lined up. I set the cups on their table, very carefully because I suddenly felt like I might break something if I wasn't careful. "DNA test time," I said. Sarah's head snapped up. For a second, nobody moved. Then she started with the tears. "Mark, baby, I can explain." "Cool. Explain it to my lawyer." I walked out, left my car in the lot and just walked. Ended up at my brother David's place. He took one look at my face and poured me 3 fingers of whiskey before I even sat down. Update 1. It's been 24 hours since the coffee shop. I'm back to grab some things from the apartment. Sarah's been blowing up my phone. 137 texts, 43 calls. I've read exactly none of them. But here's where it gets interesting. David's wife Beth is a paralegal. When I told them the story, she immediately went into work mode. "First things first," she said, "you need to protect yourself legally. Cancel any joint accounts, secure your documents, and for God's sake, get tested." Tested? STD panel. If she's been with Ryan, who knows who else? That hit like a truck. 4 fucking years. I went back to the apartment this morning while Sarah was at work. Started packing, canceled the vendors for the wedding, lost some deposits but whatever, and found something that made me laugh for the first time in 24 hours. Sarah's laptop was open on the kitchen counter. Now, I'm not a snoop, but her Facebook messages were right there. And the most recent thread? Ryan. "Ryan, please baby, just talk to me. I told you to handle it. I am. Getting married next week. Not my problem. Sarah, but after the baby comes, we can figure us out, Ryan. There is no us. Lose my number." Dated 3 days ago. So not only was she baby-trapping me, she was actively trying to keep her side piece on the hook. Beautiful. I took photos of everything, Beth's suggestion, and kept packing. That's when Sarah came home early. "Oh, thank God you're here," she said, mascara already running. "We need to talk." "Nope. Mark, please. I love you." I actually laughed. "You told your sister you're only marrying me for my insurance." Her face changed then. The tears stopped. This cold look came over her. "Well, what did you expect? You think you're some catch? You're safe, Mark. Reliable. That's what I need right now." "And Ryan?" She shrugged. "Ryan's exciting, but he's not father material. Good thing he's about to pay child support then." That's when she lost it. Started screaming about how I couldn't prove anything, how she'd take me for everything, how no one would believe me. I just kept packing while she ranted. Then she said something that made me stop. "Fine, it's not yours. Happy? But you're on the birth certificate, Mark. You leave me now. You're still paying for 18 years. Beth had warned me about this. In our state, if you're married when the baby's born, you're the presumed legal father. Getting your name off the birth certificate after that is an uphill, expensive legal battle, even with a DNA test. It's a system designed to protect the child, which means it can royally screw the guy who was cheated on. Good thing we're not married yet, I said. The look on her face? Priceless. Update 2. Alright, so the title isn't an exaggeration. Shit moved fast. By Tuesday morning, 48 hours after that coffee shop apocalypse, I was at David's place, trying to work remotely and failing miserably. Beth had connected me with an actual lawyer, her boss's brother who specializes in family law. Consultation was brutal but necessary. "You dodged a tactical nuke," he said. "If you'd married her, you'd be looking at a much harder fight. Now, we go on the offensive." Here's where Sarah fucked up. Remember those Facebook messages? Ryan's full name was right there. Ryan Kowalski. A quick LinkedIn search showed he worked at the same marketing firm where Sarah interned last year. Timeline matched up perfectly with her pregnancy. But I needed more. So I did something I'm not proud of. I texted Emma. I know this is awkward, but I need to know. Did Sarah tell you who the father is? Mark, I'm so sorry. I tried to warn her this was wrong. I just need a name. Ryan from her work, she said it happened at the company retreat in January. Thank you. For what it's worth, I think you're a good guy. My sister's an idiot. January retreat, Sarah came back from that exhausted and went to bed early. I'd made her soup. I forwarded everything to my lawyer. He got really quiet, then said, "This is good, this is very good." Now, here's where it gets beautiful. He drafted a formal notice of intent to establish paternity and seek child support, a nasty-looking document that basically tells Ryan that as soon as the baby is born, we are coming for him with a court-ordered DNA test and a child support petition. My lawyer hired a private process server who tracked Ryan down at his gym. By Tuesday afternoon, the papers were in Ryan's hands. 48 hours. Boom. Meanwhile, Sarah had been emailing my work address. Subject, legal notice. Mark, this serves as formal notice that you are the acknowledged father of my unborn child and will be held responsible for support. Any attempt to abandon your parental responsibilities will be met with legal action. She CC'd her friend who just graduated law school. Trying to scare me with official-sounding bullshit. My lawyer actually chuckled when I forwarded it. She just put in writing that she intends to fraudulently name you as the father. This is a gift. So today, 2 things happened. First, I responded to Sarah's email. CC'd my lawyer. Sarah, per my attorney's advice, I am formally contesting any claim of paternity. A court-ordered DNA test will be requested immediately if my name appears on any birth documentation. All further communication should go through my legal representation. Additionally, your written admission of fraudulent intent has been forwarded to the appropriate authorities. Mark, my phone rang 30 seconds later. I didn't answer. Then maybe an hour later, Ryan, in a full-blown panic about the papers he'd been served, started blowing up her phone. But wait, it gets better. Beth, my angel of vengeance sister-in-law, used a burner email address to send an anonymous tip to Sarah and Ryan's company HR department. The email simply pointed out the company policy against relationships between senior employees and interns, and suggested they look into the timeline of the January retreat. Emma texted me an hour ago. Sarah just got fired. HR launched an investigation into her and Ryan. Ryan's been suspended. Apparently, their affair was a huge violation of company policy. So in 3 days, she's lost her fiancé, her job, and her baby daddy, who now knows he's on the hook, wants nothing to do with her. I should feel bad. I don't. Update 3, final update, because I'm exhausted and just want to move on. It's been a week since the coffee shop. I'm in my new place, small studio, but it's mine. Still have boxes everywhere, but at least I found my coffee maker. Thursday night, Sarah showed up at David's house, full meltdown mode. Mascara running, hair a mess, the whole production. David wouldn't let her in, but she stood on the porch screaming that she loved me and had made a mistake. Here's the thing about Sarah. She's not stupid. Manipulative? Yes. Cruel? Apparently. But not stupid. This was just theater. According to Emma, we've been texting. She's been apologizing for not warning me sooner. Sarah's been spiraling. Ryan blocked her on everything. Her parents are disappointed. Her dad's words, not mine. The wedding vendors are calling about cancellations. And best of all, our apartment requires 60 days notice to break the lease. She can't afford it alone. But yesterday took the cake. I get a text from an unknown number. It's Sarah, using her mom's phone. Can we please talk? Just 5 minutes? Against my better judgment, I agreed to meet at a Starbucks. Public place, easy exit. I got there early, sat where I could see the door. She looked rough, like genuinely rough. No makeup, sweatpants, hair in a messy bun. For a second, I almost felt bad. Almost. Thank you for coming, she started. 5 minutes. She took a shaky breath. I know I fucked up. I know there's no excuse. But Mark, we had 4 years. Doesn't that count for something? Sure, it counts as 4 years of lies. It wasn't all lies. I did love you. I do love you. You have a funny way of showing it. She started crying. Not the manipulative tears from before. These seemed real. I got scared, okay? When I found out I was pregnant, I panicked. Ryan was exciting and dangerous and stupid. And you were home. You were safe. And I thought I could make it work. By lying to me. I was going to tell you. After the wedding, after everything calmed down. After I was legally on the hook, she went quiet. Then she leaned forward, her eyes pleading. Okay, you want the truth? The real truth? I lied to Emma. I stared at her. What? I lied. The baby isn't Ryan's, it's yours. I was so scared of being a mom, of being tied down, that I invented this story for Emma to make myself feel like I still had this exciting, dramatic life. It was stupid and childish. But the baby, Mark, the baby is yours. I swear it. The audacity. To stand there, after I heard her with my own ears and saw the messages with my own eyes, and try one last, desperate, pathetic gaslight. So you were going to let me believe another man's child was mine, except now you're saying you were going to let me believe my own child belonged to another man? Which lie is it today, Sarah? When you put it like that, there's no other way to put it. You told Emma it wasn't mine. You texted Ryan about your baby. Game over. She leaned forward. Please, take me back. We'll do a DNA test when the baby's born, and it will prove I'm telling the truth now. Please don't make me do this alone. No, Mark. No, you made your choices. Live with them. I left. Blocked her mom's number too. Final thoughts. So that's it. That's my story. Not as dramatic as some on here, but it's mine. The lawyer says I'm in the clear. Sarah's scrambling. Ryan's filed a restraining order against her after she showed up at his apartment. Emma says their parents are making her move back home. I'm not celebrating. 4 years is a long time to find out it was all bullshit. I've got trust issues now that'll probably take years of therapy to sort out. But I'm free. That counts for something. To anyone reading this who's been feeling weird about their relationship, trust your gut. And for the love of God, if you overhear your fiancé admitting the baby isn't yours, don't marry her. I'm gonna go unpack some boxes and maybe download a dating app in like a year or 5. Thanks for reading. I'm gonna go drink that warm beer now. Edit. Holy shit, this blew up. RIP my inbox. Few clarifications. No, I don't know what happened with Ryan's job suspension. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Emma and I are not hooking up. Jesus, Reddit. She's just trying to be a decent human. Therapy starts next week. Y'all were right about that. Edit 2. Sarah found this post. Got a text from her best friend telling me I'm ruining her life by airing private business. The irony is not lost on me. Final edit. Turning off notifications. Thanks for the support, everyone, except the person who said I should have given her another chance. You need therapy more than I do. Peace out.